What's going on, everybody? JT Best Ball here, the nightcap in the daytime. What do you know about that? It's a special show today. We got my man Nick Bocklage with us, Mr. WTF himself. We're going to talk some ball, rip a draft, and then his boy, Sus Edwards, is going to also join the stream in a little bit. And I think we're going to put our three heads together and see if we can take down the Husky.
I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
What is up, Nick? What is up? How's your day going?
Oh, it's going fantastic, man. Happy to be here. That intro pumped me up, man. I love the song choice. And, at the end, Nico Collins, man. Huge Nico fan. So love that he's in your intro.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I just wanted to do something a little different with it. That's why I went and got some of the old clips too, kind of over the years, the NFL and all that. So appreciate it, though. Appreciate it. So if you saw the thumbnail, could you guess who I am going to tell you is a bad pick? Could you tell who it was blurred out?
I thought that was Sus Edwards.
No. It was a player. And,
let me get. Are you gonna?
Go ahead.
Let me guess. Let me go to the thumbnail. Oh, I see red. So is it a Cardinal or a Chief?
It is a Cardinal.
Oof. He's short, so I'm gonna guess Kyle Murray.
Yes, that is who it is. I was real quick before we hop in the draft. I was, doing some stuff the other day, research and stuff, and just looking at some exposures and things like that, making sure the guys that I'm not in on, I really want to not be in on, like we do. Yeah. And it's like where he goes in the draft. I think part of it is his pass catchers too. I think Marv, I think McBride are both a little too expensive. I think they kind of stay where they're at because of the whole Cincinnati stuff with Chase. So I'm not really that in on them, and it's like Kyler would have to do way, way better than he's ever done throwing the ball, touchdown-wise and probably yardage, for both of those guys to even come close to paying off, what their price tag is. And so it's like, to me, it's like, I don't really want to make that guess that often with the second and third round pick, like which one is going to end up being the bad pick, which one's going to end up being the good pick, because I don't think that Kyler can put up that type of season to feed both of them. So for me, it's like if Kyler has just an average season, for him, if he has basically the type of season that he had last year, let's say, well, then like I don't think where he goes in the draft, he's that good of pick, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on it? By the way, real quick chat for you answers. We're going to jump into Chihuahua right now. My man's on a hard out, and we want to make sure we can get 2 drafts in, but there's 6 spots left. So if you want to hop on in. But what's your thoughts on Kyler, Nick?
I think you make good points. Kyle Murray is very polarizing to me, where I think where he goes is like okay to take. I don't think he's like overpriced, but I don't take a lot of him because, like you said, like I don't take a lot of Cardinals. I'm kind of avoiding Marvin Harrison right now. I just don't see it with him. It looks like he's in the same situation as last year, and from a couple practices that I've seen, like Kyle Murray's missed him a few times. I know there was this sick catch that he had, but I just don't think that the connection's gonna be there. I do take Trey McBride if he falls to like the mid-third, because I think there's like a kind of like a tier break there. Murray's fine for fantasy. I do think there's a chance he could run more, and if that's the case, then obviously I think he could have some spike games. But like you said, like I haven't been really touching him too much this draft season.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, because I was looking and like, if you go all the way back, which seems like so long ago to 2020, you know, that was the year of his best year to speak. We're on the clock in just a minute. Who do you like at two? Is it Bijan for you? Or are you still drafting Jefferson there?
So
Are you a
yeah, so Chase would be my one. If not, I go Lamb or Gibbs usually.
Lamb or Gibbs? All
Yeah.
right, let's go
Stru-
Lamb. CD
yeah,
Lamb teams are always fun.
structurally. So yeah, structurally, I do like taking Lamb or yeah. I was like, I wasn't sure we were get that off, but
Hold on, I'm
nice.
gonna refresh here. My I don't know. My underdog's been acting weird the last couple of days sometimes.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's okay if we auto any of these players because they're all sick.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, and like Lamb is my 102 this year. I have him over Jefferson. That was before Jefferson hurt his hamstring. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think both are great receivers. You can't go wrong. I just trust Dak Prescott more, and I think that the Cowboys are just gonna probably throw the ball more too.
I agree with that. The Cowboys are something I'm definitely in on. You know, but going back to Kyler just to close that off, you know, when I was looking at it the other day, in 2020 he had 3,900 yards and 26 TDs, and that was kind of, you know, his breakout year. You know, everybody thought, oh, if he takes another step with his running, he could break fantasy football next year. You know, I remember good old Al Smith. He was hard that summer on Kyler's going to break fantasy football going into the following year, which obviously didn't happen. But it's like, you know, that's his best season, and he hasn't came close to that yet. You know, so can he just all of a sudden make a jump to a 4,500, 36 touchdown type of guy, which is what it would probably take, you know, to support those two players there. I'm with you on McBride, like mid third. You know, I don't like taking he stays right there at the turn so much because you have the Chase and Higgins guys normally there. But like, yeah, if I'm at like the 4 or 5 spot and he hangs around to mid third, then I like him.
Yeah, I that's kind of how I've been attacking this offense. Kyle Murray, I think it could be too where it's like Kyle, because like what did he do last year? Like he put up what like around 300 fantasy points last year. Was a quarterback what 8 or 9 something like that. Which I think
Mhm.
where he goes is what quarterback 10, 11, 12. I don't know. So I think like it's a fine price, but shout out Scott Barrett who's used this reference where he calls him modern day Jay Cutler. So where you go back to when he had the contract extension and they had a clause where they were like, hey, you have to study the playbook 4 hours a week. And then
No
that got
Call of
leaked
Duty.
out. Yeah, no, yeah, your Call of Duty times 1 hour a night during the NFL season. So uh, players like that, like it's like a little troubling because maybe the head's not in the game and they just don't love the game for football. But yeah, I don't know. He's a tough one to evaluate.
What do you normally like to do here?
It's tough sometimes. I like to mix it up. So we took Lamb. I think Bucky, Chase, or Jacobs for an RB. T Higgins I'm fine with as well. Who do you, yeah, let's go T.
Chase Brown went for me right there. It would have been either Higgins or Brown, probably. I'm not too in on Bucky. I don't like Josh Jacobs' playoff schedule. I like drafting Jacobs in the eliminator a decent amount, but
So
I don't really
with
like him
this
in.
pick, I'd be cool pulling up Daniels. Just it has that week 17 correlation with what's his name, Lamb, or if you want to go like your favorite receiver, like Adams, I'm fine with.
Pull up Jaden.
Pull up Jaden, yeah. I mean, no one's gonna have like. So how I see is Jaden is never gonna fall to the 4 or 5 turn. Um, at this spot, I feel like there's like everyone's
Hmm.
kind of in the same tier break. Like if you don't like Marvin Harrison this year, are you like I'm sure you don't love Garrett Wilson. Maybe you do, but
I like Garrett Wilson now.
you like Garrett Wilson. Yeah, he's
Hmm.
one where I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not too big of a fan of him. Jacobs, I'm fine with. Could have went that, but I do like to mix it up and pull Janims up with Lamb. Like I said, the week 17 correlation. Um, Debo falls here in the sixth round sometimes as well. We could do that, and yeah, just get a little unique.
I started doing that, or I like the idea, and I was actually starting to think about doing it more because, like, I've done been doing that for a couple weeks with Lamar, because, like, yeah, right there at that early third for me, the only guys I really like there that's normally there, or I am on Wilson, and I do take Devontae Adams there a decent amount. Like I said, I'm kind of out on Jacobs just because his playoff schedule. Not really in on Mar, but it's like I also don't want 25% of Adams and Garrett Wilson because I always take them there. So yeah, I started every now and then I'll pull Hampton up there. I've pulled Lamar up a whole lot right in here to get him with Chase, Lamb, Bijan. But now I'm getting to where I've done that a few times. So I started doing it with Josh Allen the other day. And so yeah, Daniels is probably next.
Yeah, if you're doing it with Lamar and Josh Allen, you got to deal with Daniel sometimes, because I think he's in the same tier as those other two.
hmm I have him slightly behind just because there is the unknown factor. I would put him in the same tier as Josh, but I also have Lamar over Josh myself this year. He's my one. I just think that offense is going to be something else this year. He has better weapons overall, in my opinion, than both Josh or Jaden. Obviously, can run just as much as Jaden. So, but they're those two would be a close second to Lamar.
Yeah, I think more of the story just draft these elite quarterbacks. Hayden Winks, smart dude. He dropped a piece I think yesterday or 2 days ago where the historic rates of receivers in the third and fourth round are like really bad. Like like a lot of them don't hit, but if the elite quarterbacks kind of separate, from the tier of receivers in that range. So
hmm
like I've been taking some elites, but I do think rest of the season I want to kind of target more of those elites just because the receivers in the fifth, sixth, seventh round, I think I like a lot. Obviously, not saying they're the same as the third round receivers, but um, I wouldn't be surprised if George Pickens, outsource Garrett Wilson. I wouldn't be surprised if like receivers like Calvin Ridley or even Chris Olave. Chris Olave, terrible quarterback situation, but I think he could be someone that could, you know, give a good production. Here, I mean, I think Worthy would be a good pick here. We have no RB. Yeah, we have no RBs. How do you feel about Kenneth Walker?
I like Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, let's do Kenneth Walker.
He was one of the first guys this year I made a little my guy clip on. Well, yeah, let's go with it. We need a running back.
Yeah. One
I
one
don't
thing.
like Darnold. I think that Seattle's going to try to run the ball as much as they possibly can. Their offensive line isn't that good, but at the same time, I know from here. Let's make this pick first.
Yeah.
Who
I,
you
I
like here? You want to go?
I think Chuba. We could do the two RB thing. If not, I'm cool with either of the receivers. Whoever's your favorite.
Let's go with Waddle
Okay.
or
Let's do,
Sutton. Which one you like better?
let's do Waddle.
Okay. I just
Waddle.
was making a point the other day that I want to start getting more Waddle. I had been kind of he was one of the guys that you know how it is, like, and that's why I like to look over my stuff once a week or so. Like Waddle, I noticed about a week or so ago that I have very, very little of him and Sutton, and more so Waddle than Sutton is not necessarily a guy I wanted to be totally out on. It's just is kind of working out that way that I haven't drafted him much at all. So
Yeah, I think Waddle's fine there. Matt Harmon dropped his piece for Tyreek Hill, kind of like looking at last year, and it wasn't too promising for Tyreek Hill. I'll say that. So if that's the case, if Tyreek Hill does continue to decline, I think there's a chance Jalen Waddle could be the receiver one for the Dolphins this year.
okay, interesting. I did not see that piece. Just like by his metrics and stuff like that he uses for the reception perception.
Yeah, like he does a great job charting these receivers, and
hmm
like obviously there's caveats to it. Like Tua was out 6 games, offensive line is bad, and also Tyreek did have the injury, but the the charting, he did take a dip. Like he wasn't the same player he's been for multiple years, and he is a receiver that's aging. And usually when receivers do take a dip, they don't bounce back. They continue to regress. Waddle, I think, is 26 or 27. He's still in his prime. And there's even a chance that Jalen Waddle is more used in that role of getting these gimmick targets and, like just more of like the short passes that Tua loves to throw.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that definitely helps the Janu trade, helps him, probably most out of the receivers because that area of the field where they were just hitting Janu in repeatedly down the stretch last year over and over, like those are the same type of areas where traditionally, Waddle was successful at and stuff. So I'm gonna run through and catch up with the chat real quick. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you in here. Awesome, good to see you. Nick, of course, is on the stream. What's up, Dirty P? Dirty P's always here with us. He loves hanging out on the nightcap. What's up, Zero? My man Chris from the Fantasy Garage. We had a fun show last night. Me, him, and Hartman. He had I don't know if you caught it. He had like a little chart pulled up, and we were guessing which players they were.
Oh yeah, I was
Like
checking
that.
that out. Yeah, that was fun.
Always a good time. Makes you think a little bit.
It's I think things like that are helpful to kind of get out of the same mind of always drafting and listening to the same podcast. Like it's good to
Hmm.
kind of break that habit. Like today I was talking to my buddy on the phone, just going over some stuff, and it's like yeah, like I was like yeah, I need more Lamar Jackson actually. We were talking about that, and I was like yeah.
Yeah, my goal, we'll see if I can get there. So when it's all said and done, I want to be over 20% Lamar, which that I'm good with. I already have it right now. Just got to keep it there. I want to be over 20 on Jaden also, which I'm a little under. And then Allen, like I don't know where I'll end up on Allen. Let's make this pick real quick. What do you like here? We can reach down for like a Diggs, or are
I
you a
think
Addison guy?
I like Addison personally. I think he's a good fourth receiver, offers spike
Mm-hmm.
weeks. I we have Higgins, right? Or no?
Yes.
I don't. Okay, I was gonna say Joe Burrow goes. Thank God. Yeah, I think Addison here for me, and then on the turn, the RBs are man. It's weird here. I think you could do Demont, right? But
See, I am not.
I don't draft much Demont. It makes sense week 17. If anything, we could continue to piss. Go to receiver.
Yeah, let's do that.
For
Um,
me, Golden. I like
I
Jaden
like
Reed.
Golden a lot too.
Yeah,
You like Golden over Reed?
I do for now because I think, man, I mean, you see people divided between these two. I like them
Hmm.
both a lot, but I don't buy Jaden Reed playing in two receiver sets. I think it's gonna be Golden. I think it's gonna be Dobbs. So if that's the case,
Yeah,
I think Golden has more upside.
I I agree with you on that. Because it's like Reed is that type of receiver that like you have to get him the ball in certain type of ways. Whereas I feel like Golden is definitely more of just like can probably run most, if not all of the routes that you would want him to run and run them pretty damn well. He was a good route runner at Texas, and so like yeah, I like him over Jaden for that.
Yeah, yeah, and Golden's killing camp right now. Like, there's a lot of good
Hmm.
reports, and you see the steam that Emeka's getting right now, right? Like, he went before Golden, um, which I don't think I can take him at this price, but Golden is I think he's one that could steam too pretty soon.
Hmm. No, for sure, for sure. And then I've been doing that a lot lately from these early spots, just loading up on receivers, maybe grabbing one running back like a Brown or like we did with Walker. Cause yeah, I can't draft Demon this year. Like I have very, very little of him. It's like I I think I'm worried a little bit about Detroit. I don't worry about Gibbs as much. I like drafting JMO still. But like, I'm a really big coaching matters guy and like sure their offensive coordinator could be good, but the chances that he's on the level of Ben Johnson, who had been running that offense for what 3 years, I believe, it's probably not that likely that even if he's good, he's not on that level year one as far as calling. There's a lot that goes into really being a good play caller. You know, it's not just the plays, it's knowing how to use the players properly in the plays, timing, like feel of the game, when to call certain type of stuff. You know, some guys are just naturally really good at it. Some guys aren't. You don't really know until they do it. And then losing their center and guard like they did, I just feel like that's where Montgomery works the most. You know, it's kind of more right up the middle ish type runs. So it's really hard for me to draft him this year. And then all I'm hearing in camp this year, it's flipped, and Gibbs is running a lot more of the first team stuff, whereas in the past Montgomery took a little bit more of the first team stuff.
Yeah, you said it well. I have like 2% DMO, I think, if that. I'll take him sometimes, if I need an RB or if he falls, but more likely or not, I'm kind of just avoiding him.
Mhm.
So
So we have
this is interesting.
waiting.
Here's a weird spot for RBs. I think Warren's fine for
I
sure.
tell you what's kind of been my favorite thing to do right here in this range is reach down for them both and grab Dobbins and then grab Scatterboo if you're into him.
Oh,
Always
heck
feel like
yeah.
Warren and then
Uh,
Dobbins. You like that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in on Dobbins, baby. Like I think
I've
uh
been doing that a lot right here at the turn like we are. You know, it's not really reaching too much for him, and I like both Cam and Dobbins better than like Tracy. And I already got a lot of Warren. I need to chill off on Warren because for a little bit he was just an easy click.
your boy Kyle
But
Murray gets we get sniped.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do Cam Scatterbull. I need more Cam in my life. I don't have too much.
And see, then it kind of evens out that way. We were talking about I was talking about how I've been doing that, skipping the running backs there. And now if you look at it, we have an awesome wide receiver room. Lamb, Higgins, Waddle, Addison, and Golden. We also have now, in my opinion, a good enough top three running backs in Walker, Dobbins, and Scat, with Jaden holding down the QB room. So it's coming together.
It's fun. I like it, man. I mean, elite quarterback. The receiver room is really strong, and then the RBs. I think Dobbins is just going to play all year. Like Javante caught 53 balls last year, and he sucks. Dobbins is going to catch some passes. He's going to get some goal line work, and they're going to run the hell out of that ball.
Uh-huh. So do you draft a lot of Knicks?
No, I actually don't. So like it's funny. I think how I've been playing the Broncos is mostly through the running game. Because I don't draft Sutton really. Like I don't draft Sutton. I'm not a huge Mims fan. I don't like Ingram this year. So like I really just take the running backs.
You know what? I agree with you. I don't draft much Harvey just because I I've been saying this, and at first I thought I was going to kind of be out there with it, but then everybody I tell, they're like, no, I agree, or no, I could see that, but like I draft Dobbins a lot, but I do not really draft Harvey because I feel like if they're both healthy all year, there's a really good chance Dobbins ends up with more points because I do think he'll be the goal line back, and I do think that offensive line with an elite defense like they have, they'll have the ball in the red zone a lot, I anticipate. And so I just draft Dobbins. I was looking though. I do want to start getting a little bit of Sutton and Knicks maybe because I was looking the other day and like I was literally like under 1% on both of them. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can try to set that little mini stack up some and get to like 2% or something at least.
Wow. So how much percent? Because I'm gonna check mine right now. How much I got?
Like under one, like very, very little Bo Nix and very, very little
I have I have 3% Bo Nix and then
or something
2%
like that
Sutton.
since then. So yeah, pretty much it sounds like we've been playing them the same kind of. Let's see, our picks coming up at 119.
So we have a few quarterback options if you want. We have JJ, Jordan Love. Yeah.
Which one you like better?
I'm cool with JJ here. I like both, but I think JJ is more fun.
Yep, yep. And then, are you a two quarterback or three quarterback guy normally with like the Jaden and Lamar's?
With this build, like 95% two quarterback. Um, but if like I'm at the end of the draft and like A Rich is there and I feel like I'm covered, like I'll tack him on, if I think
Okay,
he's a
something
nice
like
pick.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or let's say Love fell like 30 picks to us, right? Then it's
Mhm.
like, okay, you know what, we'll take Jordan Love.
Let's see. What do you want to do here? You want to go back to receiver? Are there any running backs that you like here?
Um, I guess Q up Bateman. So yeah, because not Sharp. I was gonna say Sharp, but not Sharp. Let's do Bateman. Apparently Flowers is hurt too. Not serious,
Yeah, I
but
saw he was out today.
I'll say this,
Bateman's nice as a fifth receiver or sixth receiver, actually.
and it's also a bring back to the Packers we have with Golden.
Hmm.
So, likely, let's say, look, likely injury. I think he's gonna be fine, but there's a chance this injury does linger a little bit, and it takes time to acclimate him back. And if that's the case, it should be a boost for Bateman. I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I saw like I want to say I saw where it could be anywhere they're expecting anywhere from like 5 to 7 weeks or something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think 6 weeks is probably the likely situation, but I've seen reports where this is something that could be a couple months, and even when he does come back, it could take some time for him to like get back to full speed.
Which honestly, of all the Ravens, that's probably the guy as far as pass catchers that I have the least of. I mean, I love pairing Andrews with Lamar, and then if I don't get Andrews, typically I just go different tight ends and pair Lamar more with receivers in that particular build. And
Yeah, I drafted
well, I know you.
Andrews.
Go ahead.
I drafted Andrews twice in the BBM today, and feel good. Got him at ADP, which actually feels good right now.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. One of my slows, I got a bunch of slows going right now. He fell like I want to say it was like 15 picks or something like that the other day, and I took him on a Lamar team. I was at a tough spot where like I could either take Andrews a little early or get another guy that had fallen a little bit at running back that I needed. I needed a running back with that pick, and so I took the running back and was like, okay, whatever, I'll just miss out on Andrews this time. And then he ended up coming all the way back to me. I was like, sweet.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got him in a BBM like 2 days ago at like 120, and I'm like,
Hmm.
sure, like yeah, like this is easy click.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, this way,
Working through the 12th.
I like the team we're building, man. We have two quarterbacks locked down. Do you take three quarterbacks with a build like this?
I am almost always two quarterbacks whenever it is Jaden, Lamar, or Allen. I mean, I just feel like if you're taking one of those guys in the third, I know there's the well, what ifs,
Yeah,
they have a bad week in the playoffs. Like I I will say normally I like my second guy to be a guy like we did now, like a JJ or a Love or CJ is kind of like
the tier break for you.
yeah, yeah, like somewhere right in there or above is who I like. That way, okay, if let's make this pick real quick first.
Yeah,
You want to hit up tight end here?
sure, man. Let's do. I'm cool with
Are you?
Kincaid or Goddard. Yeah, like at this
I've been wanting to get a
price.
little more Kincaid. I mean, he's fallen a little bit. It's like I want to believe the story, right? I know he's got a knee thing now or whatever, but there is a world where he just kind of has a good year three now.
He's Josh Allen's number one target potentially. Yeah,
What do
I
you
think.
like about Bigsby for a fourth running back?
Do I like it, man? I mean, maybe the best rusher on this team. They can score a lot of points. ETN
Sounds
was
like
not.
you're on board.
Yeah, I like Tank at this price. If there's more good reports, about Tank, mixed in with the ones, and if he looks like he's the best running back on the team, I mean, he should be going a lot sooner than where he's going right now.
I agree. I agree. And so far, I will say that is my that is my biggest regret so far of the draft season. So at the beginning of the draft season or post, NFL draft when the main tournaments opened up, I started off thinking I wanted to just leave ETN and Tootin alone. I had my doubts about Tootin, especially where he goes in the draft. I just don't like his price myself. And then it was like the way I saw it was like, okay, well, even if it's a two back situation, like Bigsby probably is going to be the gold line back, and ETN and Tootin are probably fighting each other for that other position. But then, like, so many damn people in the best ball community are
Mhm.
just so filled that, like, there was a brief week or so where I got kind of a little worried, I guess you could say fear of missing out or whatever. So I chilled off on Tank, and I actually started drafting a little Tootin, but it only lasted about a week. And I was like, no, this is stupid. Like, I think this is a bad pick. Like, I'm just gonna go back to being willing to be wrong about that because I don't like taking him here. But I didn't really start drafting Tank again until camp started up, and then clearly or so far at least, he's been kind of the one back, the one that's kind of starting every practice, getting the handoffs, and it's like, damn, why didn't I just trust my gut on that one? I'd have like so much Tank right now at even better prices than where he's at now.
Oh, I'm with you there, man. I've had a few players the last few years where it's like, you just know this is the right pick no matter what. You can't like for example, like Emeka. Like Emeka is one of those where it's like in the 80s, 90s. I was like, I just think he's the best pick. Let me click him, and I didn't a lot of times. Like I had like
Mhm.
12% Emeka before he started going up. Wish I had closer like 18, 20% if I trusted my gut. Now I get to just sadly watch him go in the 60s and 70s, and I just gotta accept. Hey, at least I have some.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't normally do that too often, because that was one thing I was gonna ask you too is, how would you describe yourself? Are you more of a, like, smoothed percent guy, where, like, say, 18 or 20% might be your top end that you're willing to go with somebody? Or are you more of a, like, get your guy type drafter where, like, hey, I really feel strong about this guy, like, I'm okay having 25, 28% of him?
Um, that's a good question. I think I'm more of a gator guy. If you think this guy is the best pick and he fits your team and what you're doing, take him. But like to a point, right? If you have 80% of a player just to have it, I think that's dumb. But like for example, my highest percent I think is like Drake May, 27%.
Mhm.
Obviously Drake May, but it's for a reason. I think he's gonna break out this year, and I like the Patriots. So tight in here, Ertz.
You wanna take Ertz, pair with Jaden?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
We need a second tight end anyways in case
And then go,
Kincaid
yeah,
isn't it.
pull up RBs. There's a few I like here. I think Braylon Allen's getting steam. I think Ford has a chance to be the starter as well. I think that'd be a good fifth RB for us. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So, do you like Ford?
Yeah, I do. He was another guy that I wanna start getting more of, because we don't know about the Judkins thing. I think, well, he just
Oh,
went
he goes.
anyways right
I
now.
think Braylon Allen makes sense here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's been
So
getting
you
through.
like the best?
Yeah, yeah. I think Braylon Allen here. Trying to get more of him. There's just a chance that the Jets coaching staff just kind of use him. Like we've heard the David Montgomery Gibbs role between the two.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know how successful that would be, but I mean, there is smoke with Braylon Allen.
I do like the Ford thing though, because Judkins, we don't know, right? I mean, it's like he's gonna probably be suspended, but he hasn't even signed his damn contract yet. I haven't drafted him once since the thing came out because I just feel like at this point, the chances of him missing a lot of time or the whole season is probably greater
Yeah.
than like him only missing a handful of games. I mean, he hasn't been in camp at all. He just not even signed, right? And then there's the legal stuff, of course. They're probably a lot of people think at least that they're going to put him on the exempt list if he does sign. which that doesn't really even count towards your suspension. You're just on the exempt list until they figure out what the legal stuff is, if how
Mhm.
long they want to suspend you or whatever. So even if Ford doesn't take the starting job, he's definitely going to be a very usable running back in the 15th round.
Yeah, I'm not touching Jenkins right now unless he falls like way below what I have him ranked as. Um, and if he doesn't, I think Ford and Sampson's, I think they're good picks right now. If Junket misses all year, Ford does seem like he's a veteran. He's been on this team, and he seems like he would have like the best chance to lead, especially starting out. And
Hmm.
we've seen what Ford could do. Like if you look at his game log the last 2 years, like dude spikes. He's a good football player.
Hmm. All right, so let's work through this. We're in the 16th. I think we said probably we're okay just with the two quarterbacks. Would you like a third tight end since we're unsure of Kincaid? Or are you okay?
Potentially, I think a third tight end could work here. Our RB room, we have Walker, Dobbins, Cam, Tank, Braylon. So we could do like at least one more RB
Hmm.
because we have what, three more picks left.
Three more picks. Yes,
So we could do like RB receiver and a tight end if you want.
that sounds good to me.
Who's your favorite late round tight end?
If real late round, it was Johnson, but I
Uh,
don't know. I guess let's see how bad he's hurt, really, or whatever. Uh,
RIP.
I like Arroyo a lot, which he just went, of course. Let's grab the running back right here. Who's your favorite in this range? There's
Um,
Ridley, Hunter,
I think
Brooks.
I think Hunter probably my favorite.
You
Yeah.
want to just get Hunter here and be done at RB, then figure out the last two?
Yeah. Let's do Hunter. Let's do Hunter. Shipley would have been interesting too. I just think Hunter. There's a report that like he's looking explosive. He looks good. There's a chance that okay, and then let's. Kate Allen is a bring back for Jalen Waddle if we want to do something like that. Also betting against others. I see you have
Let's get
Sanders.
Sanders here.
I'm cool with
You
Sanders
good
as
with
well.
Sanders?
He's a bring
He's been
back
making
also as
some
well.
nice catches so far in camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sanders is a fun player.
so then I think we'll just finish it off at wide receiver. We'll see if he comes back. I did this the other day on a JJ team, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of really like that because one, I'm not saying we have to draft him. We'll pull receivers up, but like we know Addison's going to be out a couple games right at the beginning of the year. Well, like those could be some really nice games for an 18th round receiver in Naylor. And then there is the JJ stuff. I know from Nico and his damn every year hamstring issue that he has. Like once you kind of hurt it, it's a lot easier for it to creep back up. And like, we don't know how serious it is. It's probably more of a precautionary thing versus like it really being seriously hurt is how I think it is probably. But like no matter how bad it is, even if it's fully healed going into the year, there's always that chance of, re-injuring it, being that it won't be that long from the time that he did have the injury.
Yeah, I mean he was good last year. He scored like what, like 6 touchdowns. Could be the receiver two while Addison is suspended 3 games. Um, Jefferson, maybe this hamstring injury kind of lingers. I remember, I don't know. It was a different injury. I think Puka hurt his knee and he missed like, or he came back week 1. He was healthy and then he got hurt and re-aggravated it. We saw Jefferson a couple years ago. I think out with a hamstring injury for like almost 2 months, and they even shut him
Mhm.
down. So I don't mind the pick, and I know they drafted receiver in the 3rd round. I forgot his name right now, but I do think Naylor is gonna end up beating him out.
You think what? Sorry, what was that last part? You think Naylor is gonna what?
Beat out the 3rd round rookie they drafted.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I haven't really drafted that guy, and I'm not super high on Naylor, but it's like it really makes sense if you already have some Minnesota stuff going on because, like we've been talking about, the re-injury risk for JJ, and then we know that Addison is going to be out a couple games or whatever. So we can just play it like I'll leave the receivers pulled up when it gets back there. You can
How do you feel about Ray Ray McLeod now that Mooney's dealing with a shoulder injury? Did you does he interest you at all?
let's see, is he still on there or did he go already?
He's right there. I think he was at the top.
Yeah. No, that's he's interesting too. I think we took him either. I don't remember if it was last night or it might have been Monday night when I was drafting with Who Hames. We took him on a team. No, I'd be good with either one of them.
Yeah, because Ray Ray is a brain back for Hunter, and then this Mooney injury. Um, he should be out only a few weeks, but there's a report that he might not be ready week 1, and it's the same injury that Marcus Brown had that kept him out, like basically all of last season.
That's right. We were it was Who Hames that we drafted him with because he I remember Who Hames was saying how like it reminded him eerily of the Brown stuff from last year. So we want to go Ray Ray and finish it off then.
I think so, yeah. Because I think, yeah, let's go Ray Ray. He should be guaranteed to receive 3. They're gonna throw the ball a lot, but now there's a slight chance that he could end up being a receiver 2, or I mean, obviously they could sign someone like Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, but not on this team.
I like it, man. Jaden and McCarthy together. We got Walker, Dobbins, Scatterboo, Tank, Bixby, Braylon Allen, Jarquez Hunter. Running back room is good enough, especially considering we didn't start till Walker and then we didn't take more until we did the Dobbins and Cam pick. Receiver room is where we're winning with Lamb, Higgins, Waddle, Addison, Golden, Bateman, and Ray Ray at the end. 3 tight ends that can get that room done with Kincaid, Ertz, and Sanders. I like the team.
I think we did a great job. The receivers are very strong. We have a elite quarterback. I like the 3 tight ends. We get running back, but we took certain targets that I like to take when you are kind of building like a weaker RB room that has upside and a floor as well. So I think we crushed it.
What's up, Sus Edwards? How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, fellas? We got Nick in the building. We got JT Bestball. You guys just built a banger.
Yeah. I think we got a winner. Let's
there he is.
Real quick.
Winner, second place. Who's to say? Who knows what's going to come down the pipe here?
Sus Edwards, what's up, man?
Fun, bro. I just put in like a crazy run. I'm trying to get back in shape. It's kind of tough out here in Florida, 95 degrees, but soldiering through it. Just a little dehydrated.
That's right. Gotta get that. Where's that Circle K cup at?
Yeah, exactly. Got nurse that too.
The Chick-fil-A cup. Yeah.
Chad, if anybody wants to hop in it right at 5:14, I'm gonna enter us in a Husky.
Ooh, I'm
excited. Might want to wait and get in a different one though, because we're gonna win it with this team right here.
Facts.
I feel you on the heat. I live in Texas, so I know all about the heat.
And is that a dry heat or is it a bit more humid?
It's not too humid here because I'm in Austin now. When I used to live in Houston, more down by the coast, the humidity is horrible down there. It's a little drier out here in Austin.
I'm Cali, so I feel like we have East Coast, Middle, West Coast. Where yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw, there was like an 8.8 earthquake near Russia, and then like the alerts was like, hey, tsunami watch, California, West Coast, Hawaii, all that good stuff.
Did it get the coast near you? A bit of the waves?
Thankfully, no, it didn't. I didn't think it would, but it was the biggest earthquake in the last 15 years, apparently. So I was, it was a monster. But yeah, my brother lives in LA, so I called him, checked, and he's like, yeah, they're good.
That's good. Mike, I am in what's known as the Circle C area. It is kind of like southwestish Austin, I guess you could say.
Nice. Never been to Austin, but it seems like a lot of fun.
It is. It's a fun town. there's some weird people here. They take pride in it. They always wear these shirts around that says "Keep Austin Weird."
Right.
Really? Have you been to Kill Tony out there?
I have not.
Uh,
What is that?
it's this comedian Tony Hinchcliffe where like you know
Hmm.
he pulls a bucket of someone like if you want to do like a minute of like stand up, he pulls it and then you do it in front of everybody, but then most of the time he roasts you in front of everybody. It's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And then
I
it
haven't
goes
heard
out
of that.
online to like 2 million people. Like
Oh
Yeah,
you think you're
wow.
doing like a you think you're doing like a calm little like open mic night, and 2 million people on the internet see it. It's pretty wild.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Mike. You're not far away at all, buddy. Let's see. We have the 4 spot. Friend of the stream, Dirty P is rocking in the 6 spot. So when we're on the way back, we'll have to kind of watch who we talk about.
Hmm.
He will be
Kev,
trying to snipe.
Kev Max in there too. Friend of me in Pat's Discord a lot as well.
Which one?
Kev Mac,
Yeah,
the
nine hole.
ninth spot.
Ah, the 9 spot. Okay, okay. I didn't recognize that one, but
Yeah.
good to know. Good to know. So yeah, backside of the board might be out to get us. Who you guys like at the 4 spot? I know that you're in on Lamb. I'm in on Gibbs also. McCaffrey keeps getting pushed further and further up the board.
For me, it's Lamb Gibbs here, but I'm fine with Barkley or JJ as well if you guys want to go that way.
Who you like,
Yeah,
Sus?
my ranking would probably be Barkley, Gibbs, Jefferson, but I think you can't go wrong with any of these three. It's like a clear top six for me. So
Mm-hmm. Y'all good with Gibbs in on this team?
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
cool
let's
with
run it.
Gibbs.
I have a hard time clicking Barkley. I probably shouldn't be hard headed because it got me in trouble being hard headed on him last year.
And
But
it's crazy. I was out on him last year, and I'm an Eagles fan. I just didn't really see the vision without the pass game. But
mm-hmm.
sometimes you just get an offensive line, number one offensive line in the league. It wears you down, and by the fourth quarter, people are like, maybe he doesn't get the home runs this year. It's like, okay, man, just get mauled by Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata and Cam Jurgens and Landon
Mm-hmm.
Dickerson, and a lot of running backs go off a big run in the fourth quarter, let alone him. So I think we're going to get something similar to last year potentially.
I feel like there's a with how many carries and touches that he had last year, like of course there's always like an injury risk, but not even injury wise. I just think that the Eagles, if they do have a lead, maybe a little more content this year than last year, just to like let the backup take some of that work to keep Barkley fresh, for down the stretch in the playoffs and stuff. So, but I could be wrong. He could just
I,
be the total
I
workhorse again and be a smash even at an early first round pick.
I think you're right on that, but I also think an interesting development is we could maybe get a little less tush push because Jalen Hurts gets really dinged up on that, and Barkley didn't
Mm-hmm.
get like a crazy amount of goal line carries last year. If maybe they shift like a little bit of his yardage, in certain like less meaningful spots to like Shipley or AJ Dillon, but then maybe he picks up an extra goal line touchdown or two. It could like offset maybe a little bit. So it's kind of going to be interesting to see how they use him for sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Barkley. Let's just say Barkley did. He was the one doing the tush push. He would score like 400 points. It'd be insane. Dude, the big
Yeah.
dog. The big dog fell 19. Nice.
What do you guys like here? If we want to do Brock, he's on the board. Are y'all Brock guys or
I think Brock Bowers is the big here.
Big Brock guy, if you guys are.
Yeah, yeah. I see you have 17%, so obviously you are a Brock guy.
I am definitely a Brock guy. Let's make this next pick and then on the
Yeah.
backside I'll kind of say why I'm so into him.
We could do a couple things here. I mean, you could pull up a lead quarterback. If Higgins is there, or I don't know who you guys' receiver targets here. For me, it's like whatever. But
I'm assuming the one hole will probably take Higgins. For me, it would be either a quarterback, Wilson or Adams, are kind of the guys that I like.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be into T. Okay, he's gone.
I
Yeah,
figured he would.
structurally, we could probably use a receiver. If you guys want to get freaky, we could do a running back faller, but we don't have to do that.
How are y'all got? How are y'all on Adams or Wilson?
I like Wilson, I think.
I think Wilson's fine. I'm looking at that playoff though from Adams is so much better than Wilson's down the stretch, but I'm cool with Wilson too.
The thing is with Garrett Wilson, you just don't have to worry about the age cliff, and he's going to get like hyper target, Mr. First Read, Justin
Agree.
Fields. That maybe that
Agree.
2023 DJ Moore season, 1,350 yards.
Yeah, I mean, let's
And
go
we're
Wilson.
obviously not getting an elite quarterback on this team, or at least one of those top three, because you pretty much have to take them there. So like that also will open up kind of Fields as like a quarterback with some rushing upside here in a few rounds. But going back to Brock, it's like, I keep telling people like he is like a wide receiver that you can play in your tight end spot, but like people just don't want to listen.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
Davis
feeling it.
Maddock once said, he is a grown ass man.
dude.
He's so
Now
grown.
I think I'm gonna have like 2% more now after that. Brock Bowers is so good. Like it's just, do you take him over? Like, where's the baseline for you with these players for Bowers? Because where we got
For
him
me,
is perfect.
yeah. For me, it's kind of right in here. Like I'll take him over Derrick Henry. Um, Honestly, for me, it's kind of a 50-50 between Ladd and Bowers. Like depending on the team, like I definitely don't take Bowers early. Like, and that's why I wasn't that in on him when these tournaments first started. Because if you remember, he was like kind of living right here in that early second round. And it's like I like taking HN over him. I like taking London over him when London was more always right here. But like, yeah, I'll take Brock over AJ Brown sometimes.
My truth serum is he should be ranked in the top 12. Now I don't pull him up there because I want exposure to those guys, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he will. He's super live to have more yards this year than Malik Neighbors, Puka tier. Like he basically was Puka, but he didn't even have Matt Stafford. He had AOC, Desmond Ritter and Gardner Minshew. Geno's talking like he's about to give him a 33% target share. It's like crazy.
I like Jameson Williams here.
About to say, just keep with the Detroit theme.
Yeah,
We need a receiver here, anyways. I feel like.
yeah. Jameson Buzz is growing, and there's something the OC could utilize Jameson more than Ben Johnson, where Ben Johnson likes to use a slot more. In this offense, it could be where JMO does take an extra step. We have Gibbs too. Gibbs is using where he's lined up in the slot, and I don't know if you guys remember last year with HN where there was talks about him catching more and doing the slot thing, potentially with Gibbs too. But
Mm-hmm.
Cooks, Walker are interesting to me. Hurts, I feel like would be a good pick just for advance rates, and just you can't go wrong with that.
On the Hertz point, I would say I think we might be able to just go a little bit later, double tap Fields golf. Could be fun with Gino. We got some little stacks later if we want to fortify the flex, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Walker or Chuba here probably would be the picks here for me.
I agree.
Are you guys Walker or Chuba?
I'm very, very out on Chuba myself, but I can do
you have
Walker.
less than 1%. Okay, let's do Walker,
I
baby.
just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the thing, and not that I always like, go off of what other people say, but Ben Gretsch had a real interesting breakdown one time on just how bad Chuba is. A lot of analytics in the passing game. And like, so maybe I think that's part of why they brought Rico in, was to maybe not have Chuba be so much of the just always out there type guy. And then, like I'm in on the Panthers in that I think they're going to be a lot better offense than that they were last year. But I typically play them through the passing game because I don't think their defense is going to really be that much better. So, like, probably in a lot of games, they're playing either keep up or catch up, and so there's too many receivers right here in this range that I like, and I like Walker better than him. And I asked you the question earlier: are you more of a smooth or go get your guy? And I am definitely the like go get your guy. And then the flip side to that is like when you are that type of drafter, you just have guys that I'm okay being totally out on, and I don't think they're guys that like could have the type like Chuba. I don't think Chuba can have the type of season where like I just had to have him. So I'm okay being out on him. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll live with it.
100%. I think he's just have strong takes. I'm kind of that way with Chuba. Like if Chuba, I'll mix him in because he's on a good offense. He's a good RB, but I do worry that his passing role could just not be there this year.
We have two running backs here, so I would say
I was gonna say, how do you guys feel about
probably
Judy or Myers with the double stack?
I
I
like
like
Myers.
Judy.
I would say I like Myers more than Judy. Better offense. Tillman's reportedly looking better than Judy.
I would say just the one thing to consider is our week 8 buys. We have like almost too many at this point. Maybe Judy.
Uh,
I think 3 out of 12. It doesn't hurt as much.
Okay.
I think Judy's fine. I'm not a Judy guy. I think he's in a rug pull people this year.
and it's
So,
spread
but
out enough too, where like we'll just make sure we don't draft any more running backs
So we
or
have five.
receivers with a week 8 bye.
Yes.
Make sure make sure that our
I
other
told you.
we're gonna we're
Okay.
gonna kill the room though
Don't
so
worry.
much that
Judy
like
would have
week
scored
8
0 points week 8, so it wouldn't matter.
but no more week 8s the rest of the draft. Except
Facts.
for if we do Geno, of course.
Yeah.
What do you guys like here?
Yeah,
I would say Golden or Reed.
same.
Are you golden over Reed, Sus?
I think at this point I am. I think I've been converted. For most of the drafting season, I was Reed over Golden, but I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm cool with Golden.
My percentages say that I am as well, so we will go with that.
That
And he
is how
doesn't
we
have
will
a
live.
week 8 bye, so that'll help us.
Thank Christ. Yeah, no, I like where this team's headed. And we have our quarterback stacks lined up pretty nicely, value-wise.
hmm
Yeah.
Let's see. Our next one is 93. That'll probably set up.
You could maybe squeeze one more pick and then do Fields and then
Yeah,
Goff
yeah.
after that.
Do you guys
Yeah,
stop at 2 there or still target Geno?
Still Geno, for me
Still Geno.
personally.
Still Geno, yeah, because there's a chance if we play it that way, there's a chance that Goff would go before us, depending on what the Amon drafter like.
Yeah,
He
they
could
have.
come. He could come back there, but let's see. Yeah, see, they
Yeah, he's
don't
got.
have a quarterback yet over there on that back end, but he's got some other stuff he could be setting up too.
What would you guys go Golf over Fields?
I guess
what's
I
I
could
would not
say
go
like
Golf over Fields. Like, I mean, for me personally, I would take a position player probably here at 93, like Sus was saying, and then
Same, yeah.
probably grab Fields here because worst case, like if we do miss out on Golf, we could always grab like Love and Geno or whatever,
right.
I like Love too.
And I guess if it gets totally wiped, we could consider doing Fields and Goff, and then see what falls to like 116. But if like maybe a certain, I'm not going to say anything, but we got 30p in here, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
say what is on this mind of mine.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the P.
So what are y'all thinking here? We got 4 wide receivers, 2 running backs. We could get back into the running back room.
Yeah, like I'm cool with Warren or Dobbins here. Also, I think Cooper Kupp's probably the best receiver on the board if we want to go that route.
Nope, he has week 8 bye. Can't do
Oh, fuck.
that.
I would say
Shit.
Warren
Michael
went. You
Pittman.
want to just go Dobbins or you want Pittman?
Pittman, he had an injury groin. I don't think it's serious, but
You okay with Dobbins for another running back, Edwards?
Yeah, we could do that.
Sus.
Yeah, we could do that.
Pittman kind of scares me too, just because like now it is kind of looking like AR might have a chance to get the job again if he can stay whatever. And I don't really want many of their pass catchers if
And
AR is the quarterback
it
other
sounds like
than
his
maybe
favorite.
Pierce.
It sounds like his favorite target might be Tyler Warren. He's like apparently hyper targeting Tyler Warren. AR is so.
Hey,
I've
now I
heard that
like that.
too.
I drafted a good amount of Warren myself.
Yeah.
He could have more yards than Pittman or downs potentially in like the most nutted run out.
He plays the tight end position. Okay, Phillips goes, dang it.
Fields just went. So
Dang
then
it. I think pull up golf here. That would be my
Yeah,
my bet.
just because the correlation is
golf
so
here.
strong. With,
Yeah, well, what else?
when Gibbs and JMO go off, that's that
Golf is
32
probably
golf
going to
week.
be attached. And we do have to worry about, there was a decent chance that the Almond drafter not having any quarterback sitting on the 12th spot. Like, there's a pretty decent chance he would have grabbed him there. I was okay trying to push Goff back if we would have gotten Fields there.
Exactly.
But, yeah, since he went, that makes a lot of sense.
Losing one's fine, but losing both would be pretty rough.
Yeah. I agree.
And it's all good. We got the guy who's going to have the job in week 17 anyway. And, now Tyrod Taylor is the guy in this simulation, as he has been week 17 of the last few years.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Tyrod Taylor's probably. I think he'd be better for Garrett, but maybe not.
I think he had a 2-touchdown game to him last year in like one quarter, in like a half or something. It was pretty crazy.
See, there you go. So we
JT, how do you feel about Fields' job security this year? Is that like just like a little like schizo worry of mine, or are you like, man, it could be just
I
so brutal
think
for
his
them?
job is 100% safe and outside of injury myself. I mean, I like Fields. I mean, they give him money to come there. Wilson was his college teammate. It's a new coaching staff, so I don't think they're gonna feel that much pressure if the season isn't going super great or whatever. I mean, Fields would have to be pretty freaking bad for them to go to Tyrod Taylor over him, I think. And I don't know. That's how I've been playing it.
Yeah, I think Fields stays a starter, but he did get benched last year for Russell Wilson. And if the Jets were like 2-8, which they very much could be, the fans are gonna get pissed, and I think they could put Tyrod in just because I don't think you keep a quarterback in that long sucking, but who knows?
What do you guys like here? We have 3 running backs. We could go back to receiver. Y'all seeing anything y'all like there?
We got Bateman as a bring back on Green Bay. We could also do Kraft.
Yeah.
Maybe Kraft Love.
Yeah, I think Kraft here. Yeah, we stop at 2 tight ends.
We can be done there. On the way back, we could grab a Love if he holds. Dak is still on the board, so hopefully that'll help Love stay. And then that would give us.
I think Bateman or Burden are the 2 best receivers if we wanted to go that route. Bateman goes.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
If Love goes, then yeah, one of those wide receivers or something could make sense. But when you get Golden and Kraft, you're like, this is another just mega spike team.
He just took Dak, and now all 3 of these teams right in front of us have 2 quarterbacks. So I think there's a decent chance we get Love to come back to us here.
Should be chilling.
They're not at the position where they really have to grab a quarterback.
And I think the Reed guy is after us, so.
Okay, perfect. Snipe him. Let's go. Yeah, sorry, dude. Love is ours. Let's go.
We love Love.
And then we could even throw Geno on there, later as a third if we want.
That's perfect because with these next 2 picks, we could go like receiver RB, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if Gino's there the next turn, take him as well.
Yeah, and which he should be. We have Myers and
Yeah,
Bowers, unless somebody's just out there dying to have a a Geno Thornton stack or something.
sick ass Genty Thornton stack with Gino Smith. Yeah, no,
I'm
I
liking this
think
team.
same. Yeah,
Fields
this
got
a good team.
benched for Russ last year because Russ was slated to be the starter before he tweaked his cap. Fields is very safe this year. You know what? I almost brought that up a minute ago, but then we just got to talking about our picks. That's a very good point, Zero. You know, it's like comparing the job last year, Russell Wilson did get signed there to be the starter or whatever. And they had even said all along that, like, when he's healthy, Russ will be back in there. But, like, Fields didn't play that bad for Pittsburgh last year. You know, he's probably got just as good, if not better, weapons on offense this year between Wilson and the rookie tight end that's looking pretty good. And you got Brees in the backfield. Their defense is still pretty good. You know, maybe not quite as good as it was a couple years ago, but their defense is still pretty good. So I think his job's safe. I don't see him as a 2-8 team at that point. I don't see him as a contender, but maybe more of a like 500 type team or whatever. Maybe a little under 500.
Yeah, it was
If I were
weird.
to give, sorry, go ahead.
Go
Nick.
ahead, sis. No, you go ahead, sis.
Oh, I'll be going on for a minute, so you get your little takeout
Nah.
before we have this pick real quick.
I was just gonna say, last year Phil's looked decent, and they did win games. So I was surprised that they took him out because they were like 4-2. But I don't know. It just the Bears let him go. The Steelers let him go. So it's like I don't think the Jets are committed to him exactly. They, So go ahead, sis. I'm sure you have a lot to add to that.
I was just gonna say I'm happy to see a fellow Tillman, bro.
Yeah, I like Tillman, or if we want to go running backs, I like Davis. I've been starting to take a little Sampson because I do think the Judkins thing, like I said. What do y'all want to do? Tillman here?
I think Tillman.
Yeah. They're
Then see
saying
what
he's
running backs
Flacco's
come
like
back.
favorite target right now. And if you pass up on Judy, you get the leverage with Tillman, on the Tillman bet.
Nice. He doesn't have a week 8 bye, so that helps.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. That would have been
No, I've
catastrophic.
been paying attention. That's why there was somebody earlier that one of y'all recommended, and I was like, nope, they got a week 8. Oh, Cup had the week 8 bye.
True. Yeah, I'm not the biggest bye week bro, but there comes a point in every man's life where it's like, all right, we got to draw the line.
I agree. Yeah, so we'll take like maybe a running back here. There was a couple on the board that I still think were good picks, and then hopefully Gino will slide back to us.
I like Ray Davis here if he falls. If not, I think I'm Sampson over Junkins, just in general.
Yeah, definitely. I like a little bit of Rashard White too. Part of it is just because if I'm going to be as out as I am on Bucky, then it kind of makes sense to take a little bit of White.
That makes
but
sense.
I like these two better.
Yeah, so you have 16% Ray Davis.
Ray
I would
Davis
run to
good?
the podium with the Ray Day. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Ray Davis.
All right, so far we're at Goff and Love in the quarterback room. Gibbs, Walker, Dobbins, Ray Davis holding down RB. Wilson, Williams, Myers, Golden, and Tillman at receiver. The tight end room is powered by none other than Brock Bowers with Tucker Kraft. We're done at 2 tight ends for sure, right, guys? I mean, you don't need nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. If you draft a third with Bowers, man, what are you doing?
Right.
So, sorry, go ahead, JT.
No. I didn't say. I was actually just going to say, go ahead. I know you had something you wanted to say a minute ago.
So if I was going to give the Fields bear case, he has like an injury guarantee for next year. So if it's like not going too well, they could give him like the Russ from Denver treatment or the Daniel Jones from the Giants treatment. Now it's not a massive guarantee; it's an extra $10 million. So maybe that doesn't swing it. But if you're out of the playoffs and he's not your guy, you might just say, hey, maybe we want to save this $10 million for next year. On top of that, he's like very much like a first read guy. Like he hyper locks in on that first read. And if there's not guys getting open beyond that first read, it's really tough for him. And he has like the worst wide receiver 2 and 3 in the league, which is why I'm really into Garrett Wilson, because he's just going to be jamming him with targets. But on those targets where they're like bracketing, or on those routes where they're bracketing Wilson, and he goes into his second read, like who's going to be open for him? It's going to be, Josh Reynolds. It's going to be Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then, he's going to run a bit as a result of that. But at a certain point, not even worried about getting hit. It's just like you can only run so much. That helps you in fantasy, but like a yard is a yard in real life. And I just really worry about their ability to sustain drives. First year head coach, first year offensive coordinator. It's a defensive minded head coach. And it's the Jets. And I don't put too much stock into that, but it is a dysfunctional organization. It's all to say, I wish he had like a way better receiver 2 or 3 to like give him something once he's like out of that first read. He might be in so much trouble.
Mari Cooper.
That's very good points, and I agree with you. And I will say that like I think they're probably more so than almost like back to his early Bear days. I think they're gonna kind of just give him Geno, right, guys?
Yeah, let's go Geno.
I think they're gonna give him that green, not there with Wilson, dump it off to Brees, or just take off with it running. I have a lot of Fields, but I will say the way I almost always play him is he is either a QB2 to one of my elites, or if he's not a QB2 to one of my elite quarterbacks, then often he might be my first quarterback, but it's a 3 quarterback team with like say him, CJ, and Bryce Young or something, to where like hopefully he helps gets me there, and even if they end up benching him or something, okay, I still got either 2 other quarterbacks that I feel okay about, or the elite that was ahead of him anyway. So, but those are definitely very good points.
And in the like worst case scenario where he I think it's like less likely than he does, but he's more likely to play at that end. But like in a 3 quarterback build, he's like an awesome advance rate piece. I think he's going to get you fantasy points along the way.
I think with this next pick, Thielen or Pierce, for me, I think if A-Rich starts, Pierce is the biggest beneficiary.
I would be Pierce. I'm very worried about Thielen at the moment.
Okay. Both of y'all said Pierce. One of y'all worried about Thielen. We'll go Pierce.
What worries you about Thielen the most? Is it Hunter Renfrow?
Dude, the beats are like saying Hunter Renfrow is that dude. He was that dude like 2 or 3 years ago. Had like a weird like disease. Had to sit out football last year. And it's gone from like Hunter Renfrow, like in May, he's like not going to make the team probably just because who is this guy? He just got here. So like he is like the best separator on the team. And you have that combined with like the natural Thielen, just age decline. Now he might just be what he was last year and still be awesome. But they're saying like, at least what I've been reading is like, it's going to be really hard for them to keep Renfrow off the field.
And that's interesting too, because I remember reading something this earlier in the summer about like whatever disease or whatever it was that he had. Like, it was pretty bad. It made him hate life. Like that's why he quit playing football for a couple of years or whatever. But supposedly he's back healthy now and everything. So,
and then you have Coker.
Man.
They say like Leggett, the 2 guys that they're saying are definitely going to play a lot because they're the first round picks. Even if Leggett hasn't earned it over Thielen. They just we saw it with like the QJ thing last week. They just put the first round pick out there. They got to make themselves look good. And there's a lot of competition with Coker. Jimmy Horn is having like a really good camp. Like they have like 6 dudes. And not that I don't think Thielen is draftable, but I feel very confident in Pierce getting spike weeks where it's just like if I have to break that tie, that's where I go.
You guys like any of the running backs here for a 5th?
Sanders or Brashard Smith are my top 2. Brashard Smith's one I think's gonna just rise to the boards if he gets more good talk. Miles Sanders I like as well as potentially starter.
Sanders over Smith.
You break the tie. I'm cool with either.
I would be Miles Sanders just because I really love that week 17 and he could straight up start.
Yeah, like Brashard, I am trying to get more, but yeah,
I think our wide receiver room is pretty strong. So like if he comes back, we can just take Smith to be done. Because I'm thinking 3-6-7-2 is kind of what I'm thinking. which
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
I think
so like
that's
if
what we should
Smith
do.
comes back, we could just finish off RB with him and then just take whatever receiver is there in the 18th.
Yeah.
It's just kind of for extra depth anyways, because the room is pretty good overall, which he just
It
went
feels
now.
almost like a luxury where we could go if you wanted two receivers. I'm down for 3-6-7-2 or 3-5-8-2. I think we're in a pretty good spot either way, whatever you guys are feeling.
Yeah, I like the RB's chances a little more for lotto tickets, like Woody Marks. I'm clicking Krosek. You know, if he's there, I think he's another one
You
to get
guys like
hyped.
Giddens?
No Tutu Atwell. I like Giddens a lot.
Too. Yeah, I
Giddens
like
is my
Giddens
highest
too.
drafted player. He'll feel great on this team.
Giddens is
33%. Let's go.
Yes.
nice,
The only guy I have over 30%. And I'm
bro.
okay with it because he's so late in the draft that like, you know, he's getting some good camp buzz the last day or two. And my thing with him is like I also like JT, but like JT is not one time his whole career played a full season, like without some sort of ankle injury or missing some games here and there for this, that. So like would I be okay, like in a worst case scenario, like taking Giddens and like he only hits my lineup 2 or 3 weeks when JT was out, but those 2 or 3 weeks was just like a really, really freaking good score for a running back you took in the 17th round? Sure, why not? And then there's always the, well, what if it's more games that JT missed?
Bro, last year I had 15% Trey Sermon. So I was like, yeah, I just believe in the thesis of this Colts RB2. Now, I will say my Giddens exposure, because I don't have an overlay, has been such a blind spot. He was my second most drafted player pre-draft. I was at like 30-something%. And I was like, all right, I got way too much of it. Let me bring it down. I thought I was at like 6 or 7%. Bro, I'm at 1% Giddens, and I'm like crashing out about it. I'm like, this is so fucked up. So now,
37 to 1%. That's crazy.
so I gotta get as much Giddens as I can. I'm totally on board. He's good, man. He's really good.
Yeah, you could argue like Garendo goes 140s. He's RB2. Shipley goes before. Tyler Algier goes before. All those are more proven RBs. Not as much Shipley, but like DJ Giddens seems like he's locked in as RB2, and Taylor's he gets hurt. He's could break down this year.
Did you guys want to do Naylor as a Detroit bring back? There's Wicks as an additional stack.
What do you like, Nick?
Man,
1 o'clock.
I think Naylor. Screw it.
I think he went.
Okay, if not, then
We gotta pick somebody.
Let's go Wicks. Fuck it. We have the stack.
I just
he's
I
got some
clicked
good
him just because
reports.
we were running out of time, and he makes sense from a stacking standpoint.
Yeah, he's gonna play still. He's a good blocker. The only problem was he can't get the ball. But I mean, when you're a receiver, how important is that?
In this simulation, Romeo Dobbs isn't playing because he's not that good. And it's Golden and Wicks can ping pong a little bit, They can ping pong.
For sure.
I like it, boys. I like it. 3, 6, 7, 2. We got Goff, Love, and Geno in the quarterback room. Running backs are Gibbs holding it down up top behind Walker or in front of Walker, Dobbins, Ray Davis, Miles Sanders, DJ Giddens. Wide receiver room, Wilson, J-Mo, Myers, Golden, Tillman, Pierce, and Wicks. Brock and Kraft holding down the tight end room. I think it's a very good team, boys.
Yeah, well constructed. I like it a lot. I think we crushed this draft and we are advancing to the playoffs.
Every position, we don't have a weak position. Like even quarterbacks. I mean, like we don't have the stud, but between those three, most weeks, especially being stacked up. I mean, we got Geno doubled. We got Goff doubled if you include Gibbs. We got Love doubled now, even though one. Well, actually, we got Love tripled because we had Kraft too. So,
Yeah, you feel pretty good about getting like 20 to 30 from one of those guys, right? Usually.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it. I think we crushed it. Can you go to the RBs real quick? I just want to see who. We had Dobbins as a third, and then we got a sick ball on Ray Davis. Oh yeah, this team fucks.
Miles Sanders, and then just Giddens, who may pop in there for a game or two or three or maybe more if JT's hurt or when JT's hurt.
Yeah, I think
Some
when
upside.
it's a question.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot.
And we sniped Dirty P as well.
On the Jordan Love.
No, well,
I mean on the
on the Alec Pierce, I guess he wanted him as
oh
a
yeah,
bring
yeah,
back.
yeah. Let's go look at Dirty Scene.
Yeah, this thing.
3582. He went with Caleb, Trevor Lawrence, and Matthew Stafford. Barkley, Henry. Oh, that's a hella running back room. Barkley and Henry. Caleb Johnson, Isaiah Pacheco, and Tank Bigsby to finish it off. My man is loaded at running back. Pacheco is his
Firepower.
fourth. Bigsby is
That's
his
crazy.
fifth. Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Travis Hunter, Harris, Dobbs, Adam Thielen, Thornton, and Ray at the receiver room. Obviously, we knew he wasn't going to be super strong there, just having so many RBs up top. Tight end room, okay. Hawkinson should be pretty good. We'll see about Theo Johnson. Kind of more of a just going with Hawkinson and a punt for your last round pick almost with Theo Johnson. It's an okay team. I mean, that running back room, he's getting 3 smash scores from that room, I
Right.
feel like, every week. So then he really only needs 3 scores from his wide receiver room, which a lot of weeks Adams and McLaurin and Hunter can get that done. Pretty good, Dirty P. Pretty
It's a good
good.
team, Dirty P. He's a good drafter. I've seen him in a few of my lives before.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he comes in a bunch of mine too. Let me go
I-
find this sucker real quick.
I see the vision. Dirty P. I see the vision.
I will go back and add stacks or something later. Just want to make sure I get you guys' name on it.
Appreciate you.
Heck yeah, we crushed it, man. I felt like the
I
whole
think it's
draft.
good. I think it's good. That's my other one. Both of my Huskies have Gibbs on it so far. That's what I was talking. Me and you were talking, Nick, that like CJ is kind of my like. I like to almost always go 2 QBs when I have Lamar or Jaden, and I kind of like CJ or above to be the QB2, so that I do feel good about him. You know, if Lamar rolls his ankle and misses 3 games, I at least want somebody in there. That one I went
Exactly.
Gibbs, JT, Cam, Dobbins, and Jaden Blue at running back. DK Metcalf, Sutton. That was one of the drafts I said I needed to start drafting a little bit of Sutton. He fell a little bit, so I did it in that one. Addison, Shakir, Tillman, Leggett, D Hop, and Tyler Lockett, Andrews, Arroyo. And I didn't like anything else at the end, so I just said, why not throw a Darren Waller on there? It's probably like my first Darren Waller share or second Darren Waller share. I'll take him in the 18th if everything else is gross.
Hey, sometimes he's going to be the guy you need, right? Like,
Yeah.
if he's playing, then he's going to beat ADP, I think.
No, that's facts. Man, I'm gonna have to dip right now, boys. But JT, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll do it again sometime before the summer's over. I know sometimes our night schedule doesn't work out or whatnot, but or then sometimes you go real late, huh? I guess is that when you get home from work, and I guess it's not real late for you, because normally it seems like it's like 12 or so my time sometimes when you fire up.
Man,
so I guess it really only be like 10 for you.
I stream anywhere from like 10 my time to like 1 a.m. my time. I'll have Sus is up like at 4 or 5 a.m. You know, with me sometimes. It's crazy. But
And you're East
Running me
Coast,
into
that's
the
even
ground.
more crazy.
yeah,
He's got me up to like 4 a.m. on some of these.
It's like 10 p.m. my time, and I text us like, "Hey, you want to hop on?" Because I know he's up. I know this dude's always up. So, but yeah, I'll have you on my stream as well. I'll come back on. Love it. You're killing it. Everybody, give JT a follow. Hit the like button. And
Right
same,
now.
yeah, same for us too.
Yes,
Appreciate you, my
yes.
boy.
And I have the links to Nick's channel and to Sus Edwards' channel. We'll talk about that here in a minute. They're in the description, though. Go follow these guys on X. Go follow their YouTube accounts. Sub to them if you're not. But yeah, Nick, it was fun, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. We built a monster team, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right,
For sure, for sure.
late.
All right.
Peace.
Let me switch my screen thing up real quick because I like it a little bit better like that if we're just two of us. What do you want to draft? You want to draft an eliminator? You like the
Ooh,
eliminator contest?
I love the Eliminator. That might be my favorite
I want to
contest.
start. I want to start getting some more eliminators in. I'm at what 51 so far. I want to be somewhere 100-ish, maybe 120 at the most when it's all said and done. I do not think that I will max it. I'll go ahead and hop in an eliminator for us. And
Hell yeah.
if you guys don't follow Sus, my man started streaming not too long ago, right? I think you have like 5, 6 videos. I
Yep.
really like your approach. I haven't seen you really doing, many drafts, but you have some fun thought exercise. I caught the one last week when you had Meg on from the Fan Speak, and y'all were breaking down, like this player and this player. Well, they're kind of the same player, but you can get him way cheaper. Why are we not just taking him? But I enjoy content like that. I always tell people of the big time streamers, that's the ones that I do actually tend to listen to more. Is like, like when the Spike Week and Karain get together once a week and they just have conversations on players or whatnot. Because most of my content that I consume myself, I'm not really watching it anyways. My phone's in my pocket and I'm doing
Mm.
stuff around the house or walking my dogs or whatever and just listening. So yeah, if you guys aren't already sub to Sus, go give him a follow. He's putting out some good little videos about different things in the best ball space.
I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I just, I've heard that in the algorithm, it favors some of those like standalone videos as opposed to the stream. So maybe I'm
Hmm.
trying to like focus early on some of that and maybe try to pop in the algorithm and then circle back to the streams later. Who knows? I don't know anything about this stuff, but just having fun with it, making what I want to
I
make.
I feel you. I just started myself this summer. I don't know. I figured I was going to draft all night, most nights anyway. So might
Might
as
as
well
well.
start. It's a fun story. Pete Overzet, in a weird way, was the kind of push that I needed, I guess, to get going. I tell the story that last year I thought about it, but by the time I finally was like, okay, I think maybe I do want to try streaming. Best ball season was already pretty much over. It would have been like a week or two left, and like, that don't make sense. So then I was like, I'll just start next year. Well, this year, like, I kept kind of putting it off and going back and forth on it. This is like kind of early May, like right when May was starting, and Pete put out a post on X one day that was basically like kind of recapping his 10 years as a content creator and what it was like starting out and everything. And at the very end, he like said something along the lines of it. If you're thinking about doing it, like just quit thinking about it and do it. So like the next day I ordered me some little equipment that I needed to get started and here we are. It's been fun.
Yeah. Once you break that seal, it's so much fun. You get the nerves out of the way. You make like the
Mm.
first video, the second. It gets so much more comfortable the more you do it, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I've noticed myself. Let me see. I need to remember which one. I think this one might actually be for my eliminators. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
I know you said you don't have the overlay, but one thing I started doing when I do these eliminators is I like to actually take off. It gives us the option of that week 15, 16, 17 and
True.
just put up where now like we can see those first 4 weeks of the schedule. Because what I've been doing with my eliminator teams is like I'm just really focusing in on what are those first 3 maybe 4 games like for the team, because I just want to get as many teams as I can out of that first round, maybe win my first head-to-head matchup, give me the week 3 or 4, and then it just becomes a coin flip. It's like playing a head-to-head in DFS or whatever. So I do kind of take the schedule into account in Eliminator for those first 4 games.
That makes sense. And in my experience, last year I maxed the Eliminator. I had one finals team. despite all my running backs being dead, except for Gibbs, finished 51st. Would have liked to finish 50th for a little more money, but it is what it is. And, I did every type of build under the sun last year, and my finals team was a hero Marvin Harrison team he wasn't even really a hero. So I think there's a lot of ways to skin a cat in the eliminator, and I think there's some fun strategies to go after.
So do you in general this year with the way the eliminator is set up, do you make sure to go a little heavier on running back than you would say like a regular style tournament, where we love the hero and zero RB build so much?
Yeah, and I think it's definitely going to turn out to be a bit of a podluck. I get why for the entertainment angle why they went 1v1. I think it's better for the overall entertainment value for the average person. I'm a sicko who's like monitoring the pods and stuff, so I think I'm more of an outlier. I did like for a fairness perspective, like just being in the even, the 8-man pods, the 10-man pods each week. It's going to be a crazy podluck tournament. With that said, when I draft like a BBM, I'm thinking like, what's a team that at the end can be like 160 points, 160 points, 190 points? In this, I'm thinking, what's a team that can get me 120 a week plus, with the upside for a super team? So I'm trying to win the flex at RB for sure, which would lead me to Bijan here personally.
Bijan here, I mean, he's got a sweet Tampa, Minnesota, Carolina, Washington. What better could you want for a running back right out the box, right?
That's a smash. Yeah. Getting an elite running back in this is so key. And you can get there with elite receiver too. But, my team last year, I think it was a Gibbs, Mixon. Yeah, those were like the two guys mainly holding it down. Chuba.
Okay.
It's interesting to think through like what you need, because so many people are going to have injuries. You're kind of just, I want to like layer the bye weeks perfectly in the eliminator and just pray for good injury luck, and just survive, just like 120 to 130, 140, 150 later in the season. But you don't need like a giga super team. You need like a 90th percentile healthy team, in my opinion.
Zero, I saw your comment. I just went and looked on a different tab. My two highest owned players, and there is a little caveat to one of them, and I'll have to explain it to make it make sense. But unfortunately for me, Quinshon Judkins is one of my two highest owned players in the eliminator. Part of that being because of the way I drafted eliminators. So like I'm only at 51, like 47 or so of those came basically from like early May to maybe like mid-June at the latest, and then I kind of just stopped drafting eliminators until we got more into camp. Like right now is when I'm starting to draft them again, and so that's why Judkins is so high, because he was a guy that I was drafting a lot in the eliminator. I'm going to draft at least 50 more teams though, and I will not draft him at all obviously in the next 50, 60 teams that I draft. So it'll come down when it's all said and done. But yeah, those 50 teams, or out of the first 40 something teams, the ones that have him on it, are going to be a little tough. And then my other highest drafted guy is Keenan Allen, just because I've been playing it all summer like he's going to sign somewhere. 100%. I am starting to get a little worried because we are into camp now, and he's tweeting about playing Call of Duty and not actually signing somewhere to play football. What do you like here?
I would be Bucky or Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is even more valuable in this. And I could
Bucky just went. I'm not a big Bucky guy. He just went anyway, so we'll go Bowers. We'll go Bowers and Bijan to start it off. See what comes around to us in the next one. You thinking grab a quarterback at the next one or another running back? What would you normally do?
Could I peep our bye weeks? Is Bijan the same bye week as Jacobs?
5 and 8. Yes. And it's early on top of that. We could
maybe Josh Allen.
Yeah, we could get like Omarion Hampton or Allen or Lamar. Or I actually like Jaden over those two even for the eliminator. For one, because he has the week 12 bye, and then the start is New York. I mean, smash Green Bay, Vegas, Atlanta. Like I think Daniels is my favorite quarterback in the eliminator.
So if I were to sell you on Allen, it would be on the basis of um, his weekly like floor is higher than those other two guys, and the week seven buy is a little unique where none of our skill position guys will probably have a week seven buy, which will kind of let us even it out. Like, okay, when we don't have our stud quarterback, we have our stud running backs and wide receivers, and vice versa.
So good sell. We took him.
Nice. Yeah, he
Bijan,
was
Brock, and Allen.
my team last year was an Allen. Maybe I'm a little biased. It was Allen, Caleb Williams, and Gardner Minshew, who didn't do
Okay,
anything.
okay. Well, and because of me thinking like it's weird, like in the regular tournaments, Lamar is my number one, but like I do think that I like Jaden the best in the eliminator just because of his early start. And so like I have like 12% of him, but I was only at like 4% Allen. So it made sense. You're more in on Allen than Jaden, it sounded like, and so it kind of made sense to use this as a spot to get more Allen because I'm not out on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty neck and neck on them in terms of BBM. I actually have a bit more Daniels, but for the eliminator where we might have some, fun week 12 quarterbacks later or like skill position guys, I'm like an OCD maniac about layering the buys in the eliminator. But
No,
it
no,
might, once you get in it, you'll wish you had it.
I agree. I agree. In the eliminator, like I definitely pay attention to buys, not as nearly as much in the regular style tournaments.
Yeah.
Dirty P, I am not drafting any Judkins myself. Me and Nick were talking about that. Excuse me, during the first draft. I just feel like there is a great chance that like he either misses the whole year or like a lot of games, One, he's not even signed, so he hasn't done one single thing as an actual football player for the Cleveland Browns. They're probably not in a hurry to sign him because as soon as they sign him, he's probably going to go on the paid leave commissioner exempt list, and they're aware of that. So it just could get ugly. Like there is, I think,
The
a greater
range,
chance.
man, is the
Yeah,
range is
yeah,
crazy on him.
it's just outrageous, and I was kind of really in on him, like, before the whole thing came out, so, like,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of assuming it's gonna be really hard for the teams that have him on it to do anything, or at least it
Yeah.
makes it that much harder if he misses the whole year for sure, and
Yeah.
he's not a guy I wanna draft right now at all.
That totally makes sense, especially in this format. You couldn't pay me to touch him.
Oh, yeah, definitely in this format. He was asking in specific for we could do Walker here and get another running back, or you like any
Totally.
receivers here?
Walker here.
All right. He does not have the same bye week, so we're good there. Now, I will say I don't worry like if we have Brock is a week 8 guy and a running back's a week 8 guy. I don't worry as much about it. I still try to have not too many week 8s in general,
Right.
but my main thing I try to watch out for is say my first 3 running backs and my first 3 or 4 receivers. Like I don't want any of my first 3 running backs to have the same bye week.
Yeah, or like RB1, wide receiver one. It's like a little
Yeah,
like running formula in your head. It's like, okay, I can have this, but maybe now I got to pull back. And it's just like a bunch of moving parts. Like
mm.
here, I would be either Pickens or Moore, or if you like Worthy, however you're feeling on those kind of guys.
I kind of like Worthy for the eliminator just because, Rice is going to be out. So I think they're really
True.
going to be trying to make him a
True.
emphasis early, especially.
I like that. That's sharp.
And, Rice is going to probably miss at least the first, 3, 4 games, maybe 5. Huhames is
Yeah.
a KC fan, and he's been telling me that he hears that Kansas City thinks it's going to kind of be the 3, 4 game range.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, he's probably pretty tapped in on it. He went with the diversion program, dude. That accident though was like so bad. He could have like killed people pretty
Yeah,
easily. And
no,
the
for
fact
real.
that he pleaded out like as much as he did, and he still has to go to jail with like NFL lawyer money. It's like that's how you know it's really bad. It's only 30 days, but still, it's shocking that he had to go to prison. But
Mhm.
see the wreck. My gut tells me 4 to 6. It definitely won't be 2. I'd be really surprised about 3 because then it's like Jordan Addison is sleeping in his car, a little drunk and a
Yeah,
little high,
yeah.
and that's the same as Rice. I can't imagine it. So,
That makes
um,
sense there because it does seem like the Rice should be way better. I mean, say what you want about Addison, at least he was smart enough to pull the fuck over and go to sleep,
right, take the key out,
not
throw it on the
drive
side of
to
the
kill
road.
somebody,
Right, right.
And then
Yeah,
somebody brought this up, like, the NFL could also take into account just the whole character issue because it was like, what, a couple weeks after that, he was in some club at 3 in the morning and shoved a photographer or whatever.
right. It sounds like he maybe settled that, or they had some kind of resolution for that. He didn't want that to start compounding on him real quick. But
Yeah.
they're NFL can investigate stuff. If they think he did something to that guy, they're gonna factor that in. So, especially after the Henry Ruggs thing, I think they really wanted to deter this like driving like a maniac stuff. So it would not
Mhm.
shock me if they made a little bit of an example out of him with the 6 games, and say like you guys don't want to do this at all.
Mm. What do you want to do here? You like any running backs? You like receivers that are on the board here?
Yeah, I think
Are you
I
a
think
Rome
Rome
guy?
is pretty fun. I think Rome's pretty fun. I have more DJ Moore than him. I'm above on both of them, but I'm starting to feel like Rome's the actual one there. I also don't
Yeah.
mind Jennings just as it's a fairly unique bye week. It's late. He's going to probably have pretty good volume. Judy's a good
Well,
yardage
he
bet.
just went to. Or do you like any other running backs better here?
Not particularly.
You want to just go
Um,
Judy?
I think Judy's our guy would be my pick.
And then we'll be right back around on the clock so we can just kind of keep looking here.
You see
We
the
don't have week
buys.
7. Are you Shakir with Allen for a
I
third receiver? We don't have any position players that's week 7.
if
Or
I
we could go Pearsall
I
since we didn't get Jennings.
I love Pearsall, man. He is my like flag plant mid round receiver this year. I know the
Oh,
stack
yeah?
is a thing, but I think we could do like Palmer later or another Bill if you wanted. I
I
think
like
Pearsall would be
I
the guy.
like Coleman with Allen probably the best. I was talking with
Yeah,
somebody the other night. It's like we knew this, right? Like everybody's like, well, he didn't have that great of a year last year. But if you think back, like that was the thing with Coleman coming out of college. We knew he was going to be kind of a raw prospect that
yeah,
might take a little bit of time to develop. So now the guy's had a full year as an NFL player and a full off season where the team can be like, hey, we want you to work on this off season. Like, is there a world where he comes back and he's like a lot better this year playing with Josh Allen? Sure.
absolutely. And I think that's been a bit of a blind spot for me. Sometimes if I have a prior against a guy who's like a rookie coming in, like I was not a Keon Coleman guy, things still like his profile, and then
Mhm.
he didn't do that great. Part of my brain's like, I was right. I can't go back in this year. He's even more expensive than he arguably should be. But on the other hand, it's like year 2 players get better at football all the time. He did have some good yards per route run stuff, some good chunk plays. There's broken plays in that offense. I think Keon
Mhm.
has been a blind spot for me, and this would be a great draft to like add him in, I think. You gotta, and I'm talking to myself here, you gotta like accept you're gonna be wrong sometimes, especially on a year 2 receiver. They can take that leap. Quentin
Mhm.
Johnston had like 8 touchdowns.
Yes, I say that all the time. That's what one of the things I was asking Nick about is I just first time somebody's on with me, I like to kind of, see how they are in the best ball world. So then it sounds like, are you more of a what I consider get your guy, meaning you're okay to have some really high exposures, you're okay to be pretty much zeros on others, or are you more of a like smooth, I don't want to be too high on anybody, I don't want to be too low on most players? Are you more of a
I
smooth or
I
go get your guy?
I'm a get your guy
All
for
right.
sure.
Yeah, I am
Some
too. Nick said he was, so it's probably why we drafted a sick Husky team together.
and you take your chances and you bet on talent you believe in, and it's also a good way just if you run hot on, if the zero, like a lot of the zeros I had last year just got hurt. That's pure chance. That's not skill, but it helps you out. If you
Mhm.
get that right. Um,
Okay.
so
Can I interest you in some Scatterboo here as a third running back? Are you in on him?
I am not, but I'm open to it. I'm totally open to it. I think we could do it in this draft.
Do
Do
you
you think he
like
would
any
come back?
receivers right there better?
I would say maybe Pittman or Mooney and push Scatabo 4 picks, but we could
Mm,
also do them. I think one of those receivers will be there.
yeah, and I just was looking like I really don't want Warren. We already have 1 week 5 bye and Bijan, and so
Yeah,
I was like, I thought there was a better chance that one of these two guys took Cam just because people are really in on him,
true.
and I
I'm
figured
in
there'd
the
be
mind.
receivers here we like.
Everyone on the internet is having fun with the Cam Scatabo and the clips and all that, and I just feel like the Grinch over there, just
My
being like,
favorite
well,
pick
actually,
here, my favorite pick here would actually probably be Shaheed,
okay, I'm down to run Shaheed.
or we could do what?
I'd be down to run Shaheed.
Let's do Shaheed, and we'll see if we can get Coleman to come back to us.
Yeah.
Maybe even if Coleman comes back to us, we could grab him as a fifth receiver. We have Brock, we have Allen, so we'll grab another quarterback. Do you like to have three quarterbacks with Josh Allen in the eliminator, or do you say no, Josh is my guy, I'm only running with two, or how do you normally play it?
So last year with the team that made the finals, and it had 3 quarterbacks with Josh, but Minshew didn't do anything, didn't hit the lineup one time.
Mhm.
And there were weeks where, the part of the reason why I really like the elites, they give you a higher floor, a lot of times, like, and sometimes you just need that higher floor. You just don't want like 2 points at tight end, you don't want like 12 points at quarterback. And it buys you an
Mhm.
extra flex dart for the bye weeks, which is so huge, especially once injuries start hitting. So I love going like 2 and 2 if you get the elites, and just you're covering your bases for the bye week, so you don't have that 4 point wide receiver 3 week, which that's what buries you in my experience.
I agree, and that's one thing that I am pretty set on is it's almost always a two QB team with Josh Allen and Lamar and Daniels for me. Every now and then I'll draft three just to switch it up, or if a guy
Right.
falls or something and it makes sense. But
Yeah. Like a Russell Wilson, or if I go 3 on a Josh team in this, I don't even care if it's stacked. I would just take a late round advance piece, get the 10 weeks out of Russ, or your favorite Colts quarterback, or Darnold or something. Just the points,
mhm.
in case he gets hurt a little bit.
We'll see what comes around to us here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stack in best ball this year?
My biggest stack, and I don't know if it's any good, it's a big swing on talent ascending in a new offense, is Caleb Williams with his guys Rome, DJ, and Loveland. I have like no burden. That would be my most owned. And then in BBM after that, I think it's Dak, CD, and Pickens is my next commonly owned stacked. And then the Bucks guys.
That is real interesting on the Chicago stuff, because like I am also not that in on Burden, and like most people that I talk to tell me I need to be more in on Burden, and so I'll tell you it's interesting that you say you're in on DJ more. because I had not really been drafting much DJ Moore until about a week or so ago, and then I've been kind of making a point to do it. Let's get through this next turn because
Yeah.
it'll take me a little bit of time to finish what I
We
was
got our
going to
guy
talk
here,
about.
maybe.
Yep, probably, hopefully. They have 6
Oh,
receivers and 4 receivers in front of us. Pretty soon, maybe on the way back even, go ahead and just lock up whoever we want as our second quarterback so we know we got one
yeah.
we feel good about. I don't worry as much about having quarterbacks stacked in the
No, I don't either.
eliminator.
I just want the pure points.
Mhm.
Keon, awesome. That's awesome.
So who's your favorite quarterback out of those guys on the board?
Points wise, I rank them Love. Oh, it's really tough, man, because I don't know what JJ is going to be, but I just have so much faith in them. I would say Love, Lawrence, McCarthy, but I'm not sure how strong it is. But for me, it's that three, and then it's a tier for me below that.
Okay. Let's I also have CJ kind of in that tier with those 4 myself.
Okay.
Um I feel like being a Texan fan, I follow him super close, and sometimes like the national media can be a little wrong about him, but that's a whole different story. Who was your top guy? Love, right?
Yeah, let's do Love. That's cool.
All right, Love it is. And then there's maybe a chance. No, Kraft is already gone, but
It's all good.
so basically what I was gonna say is everybody follows the 32 beat writers on X, right?
Yeah.
But they started doing some YouTube stuff. And it was about 2 weeks ago. They had a show on it's just 32 Beat Writer YouTube channel, kind of just like it is on X or whatever. And they had a Chicago Bears beat writer on there. And a dude seemed like he really knew ball, seemed like he was pretty connected to the team. He actually worked for PFF doing some like college scouting stuff or whatever. So seemed like a dude that knew what he was talking about was my takeaway. And it was very interesting. My 2 biggest takeaways from listening to that interview was that from everything he's hearing and in his sources and all that, he has Swift as kind of like the guy, with Roshan being just like more of the backup versus like it being a kind of two-headed monster type deal like he had in Detroit. And then also the most surprising thing for me was he said that like everything he's hearing is DJ Moore just pretty much has the Amon routes of that offense. Um, Not saying he's going to be Amon St. Brown, but that he's going to be running the routes in the playbook that Amon has been running the last couple of years, and that Burden is just going to kind of be more of like a gadget guy or whatever this first year is what he's thinking and hearing. And so, yeah, it kind of made my ears perk up. Like, why am I not taking more DJ Moore?
And you see the Vegas line, DJ Moore's got like, and now it's been bet down because some people are not into DJ Moore, but his Vegas line opened like much higher than the receivers ahead of him yardage wise. My rankings, I don't take it like this. I'm not pulling up DJ Moore into the 3rd round. I have DJ Moore as a top 25 pick because Ben Johnson schemes everybody wide open, and it's not. Oh yeah, we got our pick coming up. We could do Kincaid if you want to do.
We can do Kincaid if he holds as like a tight end 2 stacked with Allen.
Is there anything
We
at
have
running
Bowers,
back?
so
Yeah,
well, I was
but
about to
Bowers, it
say
gives us a little flexibility.
the one thing here, if we went running back for me, it would probably be Samson.
Yeah, is that cool with our buys and everything? Pretty much.
Yeah, week 9, we don't have another running back at least on
All
week
right.
9 buys. We do have one receiver, but that's nothing.
Okay.
You want to go
Yeah,
Samson?
for eliminator. Yeah, let's do it. I don't have much of him, so got a little sprinkled in. And is there anything at receiver that feels special? How do you feel about Kyle Williams? He's having a really good camp.
I like Kyle Williams. I like that pick if he holds. We don't have, well, we have Ricky, but week 14 buys now, I don't worry about them as much
Right.
when it starts getting really late, like the week 12s and week 14 buys. If you have a couple receivers that are that late, it's a give or take. Like, yeah, will it suck to have 2 or 3 guys out week 14, yes, but like if you made it to week 14, you're making a few $1,000s
Right.
this year
That's a
anyways,
that's a good
and
problem
then
to have.
it's still a head to head, so like you still have a chance, right? And then the flip side of that also is, well, you're going to have those week 14 guys all the way until week 14.
Yep. And when you go Allen and Bowers, because we're gonna probably have like a 2.682 or something like to that effect,
Mhm.
we get an extra dart throw or two at running back and receiver to make up for that. So that
Exactly.
math of is totally fine for me.
Exactly.
I forget what I was saying before.
Yeah, Nick, we're liking it. It's looking pretty good so far. I
Oh,
want to
on
say it was
Chicago,
something with the Chicago because that's
DJ
what we were
Moore,
talking about.
top 25. My whole thing is like Ben Johnson gets guys wide open. Like he schemes bad
Mhm.
players wide open. Sam
He
Laporta
schemes
is
tackles wide open.
right. He is a genius. Now they're not in a dome, but dude, he revived Jared Goff's career, seeming like he was like, man, this is like a really sketchy type of bet. You know, he resurrected JMO. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who knows if he would have been the star he is if he didn't get that initial development. He's got an incredible work ethic, but he wasn't like a crazy prospect. Neither was Laporta. They weren't first round picks. Um, and they don't have like a Gibbs Montgomery level running back attack. So I think this team could
Mhm.
have to pass for like 4,500 yards, kind of like the Lions did. The other thing I really like is Ben Johnson's like one of 2 or 3 offensive coordinators in the league who goes like belt to ass for 60 minutes. He doesn't let up. He doesn't stop scoring. So he's
Mhm.
relentless with even if they have a lead. And he just creates open plays. He's like the anti Shane Waldron. And we were taking DJ Moore last year at the 2-3 turn in a Shane Waldron offense, but now it's like we're supposed to fade him in the 4th round in a Ben Johnson offense. And yeah, I kind of view it as like DJ Moore has a lot of Amon-Ra in his game. He is tough to bring. He is explosive.
Mhm.
We've just kind of forgot, and we assigned him all these character concerns, but the guy who has real character concerns over a track record of time is Luther Burden, who's like known for quitting on routes when he's not getting targeted, like multiple years at
Mhm.
Missouri. Is he going to be happy as a rookie who was hurt for camp being the wide receiver 3? Sounds like he's still making plays, but I think it's going to be an up and down thing. Maybe a Shanahan Ayuk
What do you
dynamic.
real quick, what do you like here? Do you like are you in on Jaden Blue at all?
I would I would maybe be Miles Sanders, but I also like Blue too. If you just for the early season, maybe projectable volume. I could go either way with those two.
We'll go Sanders. It's week 10. We don't have any week 10 running back, so we're good for that point. You do make a good point. Early season, especially, if Miles Sanders just could end up being the RB1. And then with this next pick, since it comes quick, I say just hold off on
Yeah,
tight end. Maybe grab another receiver here.
yeah. You got Thielen, Dobbs, Leggett. I think they're all interesting. I'd have a little more faith in Leggett. Just sounds like they're really going to jam him. Dobbs. Do we have like a bye issue with the week 14? Maybe week 5 makes more sense because we already have the 2 week 14s.
Yeah, we do have the 2, and he's paired with Love, so I guess let's go that way
Oh,
with it.
true. Yeah,
You want to go
that makes
Dobbs?
sense. Yeah, let's do Dobbs. I forgot about the Love angle. Good call. Nice.
And we did already have the like Ricky Pearsall and Kyle Williams. Again, not that it matters that much. If we made it to week 14, I think it's like a $3,000 payday or something like that. But we do want to try to win it all. So the less
Yeah.
week 14 buys, the better.
And some people I know they'll stack it all their buys in week 12 and 14 and be like, I'm happy with that. I'm like, man, I'd be much happier, chopping 200K, but to each their own.
I will say I've done that once or twice, not like setting out that way, but maybe I get like halfway through the draft and I'm just not really feeling the team that much to begin with. And I notice I
Right.
already have like a couple bye weeks in week 12 and 14. And with those particular teams, I'll just be like, all right, whatever, screw it. I'm gonna try to just get all the rest of the guys that I somewhat like who have late bye weeks, and hopefully this team makes it somewhere because I don't think it's the type of team that could win it all anyways.
You raise a really good point. Like the sunk cost, I'm totally down with that in teams where it's like, all right, I'm gonna like maximize my EV. Things didn't go my way. Let me just maximize, a little bankroll preservation. And in that case, it definitely makes sense, actually, I think.
But yeah, I never start out that way.
Yeah.
It's not the plan.
Not plan A for
This
sure.
happens sometimes.
It is what it is. Loveland is the guy in Chicago that I think is like really exciting at cost. Like it could be
Yeah. Loveland. I've been really in on Loveland. I started the year just kind of like playing it with like them as kind of one-offs, either Rome or Loveland. But here lately, I am starting, especially after I listened to that beat writer thing. I'm definitely getting more into more again, and so that has me thinking, well, I should probably get more Caleb Williams then too, if I'm going to be that in on most, if not all, of their pass catchers except Burden.
No, it's
So
interesting
yeah,
to think through. And they're saying like Komet's now with the twos firmly, like you said. So Loveland, top 10 pick, man. If Sam Laporta could do what he did as a rookie, makes you think what Loveland could do as a better talent with, he's not competing with like Amon Ra, if we believe what we believe about DJ Moore being like a little worse than him, like the path's open for Loveland to just absolutely be the tight end you needed for like a 30% advance rate or something.
if he holds, you like Mason Taylor as a second tight end to Brock, kind of a tight
Perfect.
end with a little bit of upside,
Perfect.
But like if
He's
the weeks
locked
he
in.
doesn't do anything, we have Brock, so it doesn't really matter. I think he has way more upside than like a Otten or a Chig.
Yeah, I don't get the Otten thing like at all with like Buka there.
Mhm.
McMillan's continuing to break out. I like never take Otten.
Me either. You good with Taylor then?
All day. He's like going to be number 2 on that team in targets, unless like a
Oh
running
yeah,
back clears
exactly.
him.
You were just talking earlier about how gross the wide receiver 2 is. I think it was you that was saying it.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be Taylor. He
Then
will have more targets than any receiver, I think, besides
we
Garrett.
have 2 picks left. There's probably not a quarterback that really helps us much, honestly. So I would say maybe one more running back, one more receiver.
Yeah, could I see the texture of the running back room just real quick if that's cool?
We have Bijan, of course, up top, Walker, Scat, Sampson, and Miles Sanders.
How do
You
you
like
feel
any of these
about
guys?
is Jarquez Hunter there by chance? No.
Yes.
Oh, that would maybe be
You want
my
to go?
lean.
Okay, I like Hunter.
I think he has a sneaky path to like 30% of the week 1 type role where, Kyron is still the guy. But they do.
I have very little of
talking.
him. I have very little of him in the Eliminator. I do have more of him in regular stuff. And part of why I only have like 2% right now on him, it just kind of goes back to, like I said, I drafted all but about 5 or 6 of these eliminators were drafted in like May and very, very early June. And then I wasn't quite so sure that like Hunter would have that type of role. So I really wasn't taking him a lot. Whereas now, though, I'm with you. I do feel like I really like his role. And he's a guy that in all my other drafts I've been doing, I've been taking him a good amount here, in the late rounds. And the rest of my eliminators on, I won't have a problem at all taking him. But I was just trying to hold off on rooms where I was kind of unsure who I thought for sure would have work as the RB2.
Yeah, that type of click, I think I'm totally with you in the eliminator early on. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now we get some more information. He's getting some good camp reports. And, a big piece for my team last year was like Jordan Mason. And I took him before even really we knew CMC was cooked. But I was just like, hey, this guy could be the RB2. Maybe something weird happens with the CMC thing. And, Kyron's been hurt before, season-ending injuries. It's certainly possible it could happen again. And if it does, man, like that supercharges the heck out of this team.
Let's see. Finish it off probably with one more receiver, you think? Uh,
And I love some gross guys in this. That guys I would never take as much in BBM, but guys who get you like 10 to 12 points in this helps so much on bye weeks. Like Ray
yeah.
McLeod last year had 765 yards when you add up the rushing. And now you got Penix, who could be improvement over Cousins. Like Ray McLeod is such an eliminator ass pick, dude.
Okay, we can go with him.
Unless you had someone
That's
that you were like feeling.
I have 6% of him, so I kind of I like him, especially we don't know, right? Like it might end up the Mooney injury might end up keeping him out a few weeks into the regular season. He went. So another guy I like back here is Naylor, just because we know he's probably going to be the wide receiver too the first couple weeks.
Totally, he
You
was
good
on
with
the
that?
team last year. Let's bring the gang back together.
Bring them back
Love it.
together. Well, that is it. We finished it off 2-6-8-2. Allen and Love up top. Bijan, Walker, Cam, Sampson, Miles Sanders, Hunter is the RB room. Good strength up top. Good depth to it also. Worthy, Judy, Ricky Pearsall, Shaheed, Coleman, Kyle Williams, Romeo Dobbs, and Naylor. I like that receiver room, considering we did the Brock and Josh Allen thing, started Bijan, so clearly your wide receiver room isn't going to be super strong, but I think we did well enough. Naylor will hopefully help us, give us a couple strong games early. Brock
Plus the
and Mason
Addison.
Taylor.
Yeah, he'll get 3 starts when Addison's suspended. So.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. That's why I like taking him here, because we know he's going to be the wide receiver too for those first couple weeks.
Love it.
But well, it was fun, man. Thanks for coming on with me. Real quick before you take off, you got any videos coming out, say the next week or so, you want to let people know about?
Yeah, I think I'm going to record something tonight about the 3 rookies I'm the most excited on so far on camp. Not too long of a video, nice, short and sweet, and awesome. Different parts of the board. So yeah, should be fun. Check it out.
I definitely enjoy those type of videos. I will be watching it when it comes out. Thanks for coming on, man. It was fun. We drafted. Let's see, I need to go real quick before I forget. I always try to make sure and go put people's name on it right away, because I will mess around and forget if I don't.
And appreciate you having me on, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been wanting to try. Me and Nick have for like 3 weeks. We keep going back and forth in our DMs or whatever, like trying to get him on the channel, but our schedules just never worked out. Normally, I always stream at about 10 o'clock because I have 3 daughters and my life is pretty busy and crazy. But my wife and daughters are all on a girls' trip this week, so I got a lot of time and could kind of make my schedule work whenever. Once I knew he was coming on today, I know I see y'all 2 together a lot. I know y'all are friends or whatnot. So I was like, well, hey, let's just do like bam, Nick, and then us 3, and then I'll finish it off with one with you and call it a day.
Started off strong, and you got me in the back half. So appreciate everyone who stuck around for the sus part of the show.
Yep. All right, my man. Well, guys, we will talk to y'all later. Go give the man a follow. You get tired of, y'all like watching the drafts, but you get tired of just watching drafts all the time. My guy is putting out some really interesting content around just thought processes and player takes and stuff like that. Until then, have a great rest of your day.
But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me.